Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host Matt Marrero, along with the other host.
Insert Godzilla Roar here.
Insert that. That's actually, is that your legal name now? I think didn't you change it like last week? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, you changed it right this second. You zipped down right to the courthouse. It's like it is way past hours. I don't know what the hours are, but it's way past them.
And then I roared, and then they did it.
I think they would have done anything.
Pretty much.
I think they would. Yeah, I think they would have done anything you would ask for if you just Godzilla roared perfectly. And I feel like some people there would have done it out of fear, but then others would have done it out of just being like impressed. Like there were a few people in the background, like some secretaries in like 90s anime secretary outfits that were just clapping.
Yeah, it was kind of a mixed reception, but most of them were just happy to see me go back into the sea.
Yeah, most of them were like, thank God he's going to drown. Anyway, so they were like, get him away from us.
Damn.
You came right back up. Anyway, so we're talking about these. You're buoyant, yes. We are talking about, that's the thing, that's what we're talking about for 2 fucking hours, the fact that you're buoyant. I don't. Where are we going with all of this? Okay, we're talking about the second Godzilla animated film, Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle. I did not expect this to be as good as it was, and let me explain. I knew things were gonna. But I knew things were gonna pick up. I said that because it's funny. I knew they were gonna pick up, so I was like, this should be better. But because it's a movie, like, it's funny, even with it being a movie, there were some parts where I was like, if this was a TV series, I feel like this would be better. And what I mean by that is when they were really going in depth with, like, the battle plans, I was like, okay, I do care, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't hear about battle plans because obviously you guys are going into battle, but, like, for a movie, they were really going hard. No. They're battling. It's in the title. But they were explaining the battle plans to the point where I'm like, wow, like you guys are going like super into it just for like tacticians who are like, but what about that side? And all of a sudden in the movie they're like, actually on this side, and it's just like, oh my goodness. Like people who are actually like who are sitting at home like, I wonder what their battle strategy would be.
Like, actually, this battle plan is horrifying. Please stop.
Well, it became horrifying. It became horrifying due to the fact that they did not disclose. Well, it's funny. At first, I didn't mind that they were. Well, they did and they didn't. At first, I didn't mind them talking about that they were sacrificing themselves because it was so strange. I think maybe it's a cultural thing or I don't know what it is. But for me, I was like, I'm not. Look, I get that it's horrifying, but they're making the choice. They believe that it is best to make that choice. I didn't feel weird about that. It was, of course, until the point. It was, of course, and then all of a sudden it turned into, so we're all going to do this, right? And they're just like, no. And then they look at Haruo. It's just like, there's no fucking choice. Haruo's like, what? I was not under the impression that there was no choice. And even, I forgot her name, which is sad. She was in the second. Yuko?
Yes.
Even she was just like, I was also not under the impression.
Yeah.
And that was, and we'll talk about Yuko in a little bit, but I just think that the movie, I don't know what happened because I liked the first movie, but I will admit there were some lulls. Even though I did like it, there were some lulls, but I feel like this movie really ramped it up, and I think because it delved into other Godzilla lore, it really pepped up my interest because I love Godzilla, but it's one of those things where, we see Godzilla and everything, so for me, I'm like, I love you, Godzilla, but who is also here to maybe fight Godzilla, to help Godzilla? Who else is here? Because the thing is, we know now, unless it's like a movie like Shin Godzilla or Godzilla 2014, even though there were other monsters, I heard, but still the point is, we know those movies, okay, you're for Godzilla, we get it, but now that we're in this second anime film, I was like, oh my god, like, it's so funny. When we saw the girl, one of the twins, when we saw her get up on the altar, and I'm like, oh, are they doing the Mothra thing without she's a twin?
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Immediately. It's funny, you roar, I, like, just start singing, Masuda, yeah, Masuda. Because, like, there's something,
somebody
I don't
else
know.
that looks exactly like you but slightly more angry just appears in your doorway. You both start chanting.
There are a fair amount of people that look slightly like me, but a little bit more
go.
angry. There are a fair
go.
amount of people. Yep. But but seriously though.
And then the monstrosity that is me roaring, I just appear in Queens.
Well, I mean, I guess what you did was you walked into the sea and you just popped back up in Queens.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I'm really happy they went into Mothra. I think we said last time, it'd be interesting if they use this and they're like part of a Mothra type tribe, and apparently that was the case. Although, I know this is meant to be sci-fi, but it's so funny how they were trying to go into like biology so hard, but still keeping huge sci-fi elements in there, where it's just like, so they're humanoid, but there's also insects involved. And I'm just like, cool. All right. Because, like, they kept on saying stuff like, granted, it's been 20,000 years.
Right. And they've been in contact with the egg for so long, too. Granted, everything else in the ecosystem has been surrounded around Godzilla for so long that it's apparently very like it as well. Or, just different species imitating it.
No, yes, that's the thing. Like, I understand, like, things adapt, but it felt like it took adapting to a whole new level where it's just like, are they adapting? Either that or Godzilla gets around. Well, it got to that point.
To both of those reasons, it has been 20,000 years.
Yeah, right? You settled down, and then some people moved, you had a bunch of kids.
I'm not arguing against either of them.
So here's my question, Tristan. I don't think we actually asked this last time. I think maybe we joked about it. Last time, did they kill Son of Godzilla, or did they kill Godzilla from the 1994 movie? I'm okay with either one. I'm just curious.
I'm not okay with one of those. Well, I mean, I guess they killed it, so I guess I should be, but...
No, but best thing, so they killed, the assumption is they killed Son of Godzilla, if we're actually comparing this to, like, actual movie canon, which obviously it's not meant to be, but...
Yeah.
Because they mentioned, that was a Godzilla, because clearly that was, like, yes, there are Godzilla copies in the area, quote-unquote, that's why, like, some of the dragons that are clearly from Monster Hunter, they have, they clearly are. I said this last time, and I mean it now, too. I've never played Monster Hunter, but god damn it, those fucking dragons are from Monster Hunter. Anyway, point is that they look a little bit like Godzilla, but the one that they killed last time, that's clearly a direct descendant of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Apparently it looked like Godzilla 20,000 years ago. That's why when Godzilla was so large, they were like, okay, he was not that big. He was not that big last time. Am I right?
It's been 20,000 years, but shit.
That's the thing. I think, weren't they? Yeah, their predictions or their projections were he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? Yeah, that was their. Of course, it was always Haruo's idea of, and if he's not, we're gonna kill him. And if he is, I'll kill him harder.
Yeah. Oh, he must be dead. It's been over 20,000 years. He can't still be back.
What confuses me is how the egg is still an egg.
Well, we never really. The movies kind of made it seem like Mothra propagated very quickly, but with this, I feel like he also could have fought him recently too, or I suppose her. More appropriate.
You're right. Actually, she could have. You're right. Yeah, Like, it could just be a constant, just descendants of Mothra. Don't worry, Mom, I'll get him this time. Dies. Don't worry, Mom. Just constant Mothras going up against Godzilla. Like, Godzilla's like, are you the great? It's one of those anime where it's like, I am the great granddaughter of Mothra. Godzilla just steps on it.
I'm here to avenge her. Atomic, right?
Yeah. Just, I was like, well, give it another, 100 years? Oh, 1,000. Wow, I've killed 200 of you.
Yeah, because usually there are twin caterpillars. One of them usually makes it to Mothra and then is destroyed later on, or comes back later and is Mothra.
Thank you.
You killed my twin 10 years ago. I'm here to avenge. Well, this went about just as well as my twin did.
Wait, but here's the thing, right? Tristan, that was a joke. But it's actually relevant because I also was thrown off by the fact that there was only one egg.
Well, that's how it always goes. Multiple larvae hatch from... I mean, that's the thing. Like, 2 larvae came out of a Mothra egg in the movies. It's happened before.
Oh, whoops. Oh, so then there's going to be double the Mothra in 3. Oh, and another thing, too. Another seed that was dropped. First of all, I would like to say this. You know that show, Everybody Hates Chris?
I heard of it, yes.
Everybody hates Rodan. No mention of Rodan in this entire movie.
Yeah, it was funny. For a split second, I thought they were talking about Rodan. And I'm like, no. This has to be Mothra. Like, this can't be anything else but Mothra.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the secret being that killed the planet. I was like, that's not going to be Rodan.
No. Like, Rodan's cool, but, like, come on. There's only one who can fit that bill. It
was never going to be Ghidorah. It was actually going to be that one monster exclusive from that video game, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee.
Oh, you mean Orga?
Yeah, it was going to be like, the monster that destroyed our planet. Remember its name while you are in battle. Orga. What?
That was interesting.
Not Ghidorah?
You...
All right, let me explain something to you. Orga is shit to us. You just said motherfucker. How dare you?
Oh.
I know I just said that was, like, the biggest thing, but I was actually, like, how dare you say Ghidorah to us?
You know, it's funny. I almost thought he was going to walk up and say Space Godzilla, and I was just going to laugh so hard. Like,
I was going to be so pissed.
Look at him like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that there's an even bigger Godzilla that's roaming out there in the universe, even worse, and you call him Space Godzilla? It's like, yeah, what else were we supposed to call him? Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna go sit down somewhere. God.
Wait a minute. So I have a question. What's his name again? The priest fellow?
Memphis.
Memphis? Is that what it is?
Memphis, yeah, along those lines.
No, it's just basically just like there's an even greater threat. Space Godzilla. Memphis? Yes, Haruo. So you have a threat, and it was bigger than our Godzilla? Yes. But it was like our Godzilla? Also, yes. So you just put space in front of your thing? We did, yes. Because yours is in space. No, we did, yes.
Okay.
So your thing's like our thing? Yes, it is. But what's the difference? Space. Thank you. No, like, all right, fucking shit.
So hard to
admit.
A little bit.
You know what I thought was going to happen, which sounds really stupid, and I know it's going to be really stupid, but I still have to say that I thought this is where they were going because they had a really tense moment, and I didn't know how they were going to break it up. The moment where it's like, she's going to die. What are you going to do? Are you going to do this or that? Decide. Haruo. And I'm like, all right, you're screaming his name a lot. Like,
yeah.
All of you stop. But they were all like, come on, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I thought he was going to say Ghidorah, and it was going to awaken it from a slumber.
Oh, fuck.
No, because the whole idea of, like, remember this name. I don't know why I'm telling it to you now. That's the one scene, by the way, that, like, I as a fan, I love, but as someone who has to talk about this and review it, I don't like the scene because, let me explain, it just comes off as like a fan thing to get me excited as a fan for the sequel, which, I mean, I am. But as someone who's, reviewing this and talking about this, I thought it was going to have something to do with this movie. And unless it's like, oh, those who know the name don't get infected or something, like it's really weird that Haruo just didn't get infected by the nanos. But
well, it was because they treated him in the oh god, what did they call the
right.
the Mothra people when they treated the people in their village that dust, the scale-like substance that's moths that help them fly and keep things off of their body. It kind of integrated with some of them, so that's why they were saying, why is the nanometal not interacting with you? And that's also why they were saying people in the city that were treated with that stuff felt sick in the city, but when they left, they felt better.
I forgot that they mentioned that. My bad. No, but I thought that Ghidorah's name would have done something.
Yeah, I think the idea with that, with him telling him about Ghidorah then, was kind of the sense, like, it was a test one. It's like, look, I know you're really focused on taking out Godzilla right now, and I really hope you do it, because guess what? There's an even bigger threat waiting for you. So if you can overcome this with, a level head, you might stand a chance.
Yes, or potentially, and I'm not saying he's dumping the seeds that far, though to be fair, these priest characters, apparently they have clairvoyance in a sense, due to, talking to God or whoever they're talking to, or they're getting communications from. My point is that with them, it feels like it could be like hey, I know you're going to, like, even if, because arguably you could say that the suicide dive is a level-headed attempt at destroying Godzilla, but it's the idea that if we weaken ourselves too much and even potentially kill Godzilla, we will be open to a Ghidorah in the future. So you have to think about that. Not so much don't kill Godzilla, but in a situation where you can escape and Godzilla escapes, just be wary because, again, Ghidorah exists. Because, like, in other words, don't just, but I thought that that's the weird thing, too, with Godzilla living and with Yuko dying, because here's the thing. My issue with situations like this in movies is that you want to say that the quote-unquote bad guys, the ones that were doing bad things, you want to say they're wrong. You want to say, how dare you? We have to keep our humanity. Well, in this case, his humanity killed Yuko. Granted, you could argue she would have died if she became part of the nano, metal like he would have, arguably. But
because he was
still
basically a hive mind, and once the artificial intelligence was destroyed, all the others that were fused with it also died.
Right. So you could argue that would have killed her no matter what, even if you didn't shoot it down, they're still a hive mind. You're right. But my thing is, though, is they would have killed Godzilla. Now we have an alive Godzilla, which if that's the problem, then, he's the problem that's alive. And you also have a Yuko that's dead.
Yeah.
So it makes it seem like he made the wrong decision. Granted,
I mean, at that point, I don't think there was a right decision.
Well, that's fair too. I mean, but again, though, it would have killed. Because the thing is, if the idea is, but who says it would have killed Godzilla? Okay, that's fair. But if the goal was always to kill Godzilla, and that would have killed Godzilla, then you didn't achieve your goal, and the woman you love died. It's not his fault. It's their fault.
I mean, it's a little bit his fault.
How is it his fault?
I mean, because he even brings up the point, he's like, I don't know if I'm the right person to lead this, because he starts to realize his obsession with destroying Godzilla and how many people have gotten killed already. Granted, most of them, signed up for it, and he told them straight out beforehand, like, I don't know if we're all going to get out of this alive.
But how is it his fault? But how is it his fault that he got her killed in particular?
I mean, not stopping the others earlier. Because he had a bad feeling about it going in, but that's when Godzilla awoke and then came up, and it's like, well, we don't have a choice now. I'm putting my faith in you. Please don't screw me over. And they kind of did.
Right. But they couldn't leave the planet unless they didn't go to the city. And when they went to the city, that was actually a great, at what point, I don't know, it's a weird thing that you're like, he got her killed. I don't know, what other choice could he have made? Because Godzilla would he have gotten even bigger?
No, I know. I'm just saying he played a part. I'm not saying it's entirely his fault. It's just the choices that he helped make also went along with that.
Yeah, but then they'd be alive on the... Also, weren't they running out of resources on the ship?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying
so then they would have died there.
Either way.
Yeah. So then,
yeah.
But I'm saying that regardless, no matter what yes, so then, wait, so if it's a lose either way, then he didn't actually play a part in it then. Either situation would have gotten her killed is what I'm saying. If they went back to the ship, she would have died of starvation, or she dies via nanobites, which is such a fucking weird thing to say out loud. Isn't it? She died via nanometal. It's like, well, better than dysentery, I think, but...
I mean...
Then again, I don't know.
Quicker.
Which? Nanometal?
I'd say the nanometal was quicker.
Okay, that's fair.
Still painful at first, but quicker.
Yeah. But no, I don't know what he could have done though, because either way she would have died. Be it starvation would have been longer. Either way they would have died. So I don't know. I mean, it's a weird thing where also another thing too, as a viewer, and you too, by the way, we both hate that she died because it was a very sad moment. I was actually like, oh God, are they actually going to do it? And they did.
Yeah. I'm
and
glad
I was like,
they stuck
damn.
to it, though.
Yeah,
because
I will say that too.
Scene so powerful. Because I could hear his scream in my head before it even became audible.
Yeah.
On screen. Yeah. And it was perfect. It was just the perfect gut-wrenching, heart-tearing scream.
And it cut to black, but he still kept crying. And
yeah.
I was like, oh.
Oh, God,
yeah,
it was perfect.
So, yeah, for me as a viewer...
It was so good at the same time.
That's the thing. As a viewer, I'm sad and I don't like it. As the person who has to review it, I did enjoy it because I do think we need something to push him over the edge. I just don't know if I want the thing to push him over the edge to be the thing that takes him. Because the thing is, I want the bad guys in this case, the guys who were bad, who betrayed them, who were, anti-human and anti-humanity.
Yeah,
I want them to be wrong.
Well, that's the thing.
At first I liked them.
For them, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's all their different looks on the universe. All these different, species trying to come together to fight against a greater enemy, but they all have their different hang-ups of well, we can't do this, but we can do this. And the other side's like, no, what the hell? You can't do that. Yeah.
So my thing is, at first, like I said earlier, I thought it was strange because, it's this idea of well, they're killing themselves for this. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, are we trying to get Catholic in this? Are we trying to get more? Because it came off as a very religious, moral thing. It's suicide was the thought. And I was confused because I was like, but they're choosing.
Yeah.
It's not being forced upon them. But then, of course, when it became forced upon them when they were piloting the goddamn mecha that I did not think would be making an appearance in
the vultures
a Godzilla.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, and that's the reason why I think, even though I do like these movies, I'm not saying that everything Godzilla should be anime from now on, but I do think that this is why tokusatsu can do very well in anime form, because there's just stuff that can be done here that even, in a Godzilla movie, like even in a big budget, like $500 million or more Godzilla movie, it would still look a little bit off if we had, unless it was like really, really dark and really, really nighttime, it would still be off if we had like mechas flying that way. Pacific Rim, not so much, but mechas flying around, I think that would look awkward. Like, I think if what they did in this movie with these mechas flying around, if they did that in live action, even with a high budget, it would still look awkward, is what I'm saying. Not a Pacific Rim situation where it's punchy. Like, that's fine. Punch, super exploding fucking thing out of your chest. That works. But when it's, when you're flying around like that, essentially being a Gundam,
especially at that speed too.
Especially at that speed, yeah. Like, I think you can do a Gundam movie just fine, but it's two Gundams going at it, and also they're probably going to be going at it in space. In the vastness of space, you can kind of make that work CGI-wise.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of why, funnily enough, I mean, granted, although to be fair, I was going to say, I don't know about a G Gundam live-action movie, but also looking at G Gundam, they're also planted on the ground, usually. Right. Not always. But usually, versus, granted, I think there was one fight in space. I haven't finished G Gundam, but anyway, but when it comes to that versus showing Godzilla in anime form like this, it was just so amazing for them to introduce the mechs that I just did not think they would. I never thought about that because, of course, we've been dealing with live action Godzilla for years.
Right. Well, I mean, I thought they would have to at some point because there's no way in hell you're fighting that sized Godzilla on the ground.
I was expecting them to get Mechagodzilla up off the ground, and I even thought when they said we're going to use Mechagodzilla, I thought even with looking at the head, I thought they were going to rebuild it. Like I didn't think that they weren't. I was like, oh. Yeah,
that's true. They did take that in a different direction, but I liked what they did with it. That was a little bit sad that it's like, oh, you're not going to make the giant Mechagodzilla fight each other? It's
but
like,
you know what? They can't.
The whole city is a trap. It's like, oh.
Because here's the thing, they technically can't because it's much larger than the original head that they made.
Yeah, but I mean, they also said it had grown much further than they had anticipated, and they had a lot more materials to work with, so I thought maybe they could still do it.
You know what's funny? There's always a third one.
True. I think it was the problem with time. Although, I'm pretty sure it's destroyed at this point. Because, let's be honest, Godzilla left that place a flaming hellhole in the ground.
It's interesting. The head is, okay, the consciousness of it is destroyed, but you do wonder if some of the actual tech, like, the computers, the beep boops, all that stuff. I'm a technical wizard. I wonder if the beep boops are still around. I'm not saying that they're online.
I'm pretty sure without that central intelligence, it's just going to crumble. I don't think it'll blow like it did.
Okay, I see what you're saying. With that central intelligence gone, none of them are actually, like, they might as well all be like 80s computers.
Well,
less.
They might as well just be dead. There's no sentience anymore within the metal.
Right, it's just hunk of junk.
I don't think
but they were.
I don't think it'll react the way that it did.
Okay, no, because I'm saying there are actual computers that were online. But I see what you're saying. They're powered by the sentience.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, like in my mind, I am trapped by the idea that no, but electricity is powering them, and the sentience is like a part of it. It's like no, the sentience is it. It is all of it.
Yeah. Like the metal is living itself and was growing.
Exactly. Yes. which again is also a great concept. I think this movie, while it went a different direction than we thought, I still think it was a great way to, like, I will admit, it is a little odd that we haven't had one monster fight Godzilla yet, but I do think that with all these seeds that they've kind of laid down, we're going to have something fucking huge in this third movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny. Normally I'd say boo to that. I mean, to be fair, I'm still kind of saying that with Ghidorah a little bit. But I do think, though, that because of the way these movies were made, you know, they're made to be, as far as we know, only 3 movies, all come together, all tie into each other. It doesn't seem as if, you know, this is made to be, it's going to be a spin-off for Ghidorah or a spin-off for this. It's not like it's a Marvel DC thing. It's just its own trilogy that I'm sure they wrote an entire giant script for, you know, for all 3 movies, and they were like, great, there'll be 3 chapters.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And that's fine. But I will admit, though, it would have been nice to, even though I do like where they went, I do agree with you. It would have been nice to have, you know, Mechagodzilla fight Godzilla. Even if Godzilla won, that's fine. Right? Like, even if Godzilla won with, you know, with fucking gusto, right? It just, like, punches right through, and it's like, okay, we did not expect.
Well, yeah, like, that would have been interesting, because that's also the other thing. It's like, so then what's to stop the Billacilato from then taking over the planet? Because then even Mephis says at the end, it's like, if we don't stop the nanometal now, it'll just consume the planet. And that's not going to make things any better. It's just going to be a new hierarchy, which is not what you wanted in the first place.
Which I get. I just, you know what it is? I feel like it's rough because even though this movie was an hour 40, I still feel like there's stuff we didn't see because, so I mentioned the Bellalato, right? That's their names?
The Billacilato?
The Bellalato, yeah. So they're rude, if you want to call it. If you want to be very, very polite about it, they're kind of rude by the end with what they're doing. But at the same time, it still feels odd to have that you know, the character, I already forgot his name already, and I'm okay with this. Just to have him go, by the way, they're gonna do some crazy shit. How do you know? God, look at him.
Like, well, we kind of seen them do this shit before.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's a thing where it felt like, if you want to compare it to Star Trek, it felt like the Federation working with Klingons and bringing them into the Federation, and it kind of felt frustrating that the Klingons were like, yeah, no, we're still in it for ourselves, so fuck you.
Well, it was the thing. Even aboard the ship, the way they taught, like, there were some points of dialogue where I'm like, so this is a very, very uneasy alliance. Like, they're
and that's
all
fair.
Together. Yeah. And there were even things said here and there that it's like, you have an altogether different idea about how to run things, don't you?
Oh, no, and I know. And believe me, it's been a while since I've seen the first one, so I don't remember those lines of dialogue. But looking at things in this film, and even looking at the landing crew, it felt like they were on the same page, though.
Yeah,
like, it seemed it seemed.
Yeah. Well, Galagoo and Bellaboo, yeah, I believe that was their names. They were comrades with Pyro. Because, like, towards the end, it's like, you know, it's like, I'm putting my trust in you just as much as you're trusting us. We're trying to do what you wanted you to accomplish, but unfortunately their ways of thinking were about the situation, about how to handle it, and what cost is acceptable were different. And that's where they kind of fell at odds, catastrophically.
Yeah, and I understand
that whole idea. Yeah, it brings up that whole idea. It's like, how can you call it a victory if we lose our humanity in the first place? We're losing the very thing we're trying to reclaim. How is that a victory?
And
whereas
the thing is, I understand
humanity, quote unquote, as a weakness, a deficiency. It's like we're joining a higher plane. For them, that's the goal. But for humans,
but we're supposed
it's not.
Right, but because we're humans, Tristan, we're supposed to think of that as the bad guy's perspective.
I mean, it only became the bad guy's perspective when they forced it upon them. When they're like, look, you have to do this. This is the only way to destroy Godzilla. I thought that's what you wanted. It's like, yes, that's what I want, but this is not the way to do it. It's like, but there is no other way to do it. You don't know that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. At that part of the movie, it's still in the movie. Therefore, it changes the entirety of them and their motives.
Yeah.
Because, and if you want to say no, it's only those two. The other people of their race that are probably both on the ship and off the ship that gave only themselves. They're fine. It was just those two that were being assholes. Fair. But it's still, I don't know, again, it felt like it was like, we're all working together, and even though we have differences, we're on the same page, and then at the end it's like, no, we found the nanometal. We don't give a fuck about you. We give a fuck about taking down Godzilla. You're going to help us do that, right? And then when you do, we're going to take over the planet. It's just like, all right, actually, it seems like you are the bad guys now. And it's just frustrating because, again, it felt like a Klingon situation where, yes, there's still some bad Klingons in TNG and other series, but to have Commander Worf on the I've only seen like 2 episodes of TNG. Is it still the Enterprise in TNG? I've only seen like 2 episodes. So my brain, and I saw them a while ago. Oh, I didn't know if they gave it. Oh, okay, because different shows give other variations to the ship name.
I mean, I think it was a different model, but I'm pretty sure they still call it the Enterprise.
All right, that's fair. Then the Enterprise. So so it's like it's just me sitting here like, it's fine. This is not Star Trek Thursday. It's fine.
I'm sure
what it is, I have to know my shit.
Other hosts.
It's fine. I mean, you've already been killed by the fact that we have Star Wars Wednesday, and you've done every single one of those.
Well, there you go.
There you go. But anyway,
verse me as Godzilla with the Enterprise. See what happens.
Good God. The Enterprise just works with... The Enterprise is like fucking nanometal. It would make everyone so much nicer.
Oh, God.
And they'd love each other.
Oh, that'd be horrifying.
Yeah. But my point, though, is that... it's just frustrating because when you have Worf on the ship, it really felt like this was going to be one of those situations where it's like, we're all working together, we all look different, but it's okay because even though we have different ideals, we're incorporating them into how we help each other out. And it just turned into a takeover operation. And it's just like, all right, that's great. You know?
Because I kind of feel like some of them had that idea in their head even from the very beginning. Like, even from the original Mechagodzilla plan. Because there was one point where someone from the F's, I can't remember what their species name is now, but the other people who...
But no, You're combining the things, though. I'm not saying that they thought about it at the last second. I'm just saying that we, as viewers who are not in their world, we're like, oh, great, they're coming together. And it did not become that. So to me, it turns it into a message of, see, the people that are different from you, they're your enemy. And I'm like, all right, they're your enemy. They want to take over the Earth. I'm like, okay. And also, to be quite honest with you, it seems like the religious, I assume, father, son, parent, child, because there's one up in the space station and another one down on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. They seem very ominous. It would be very strange if they were actually the true nice guys of just like, yeah, no, Ghidorah exists. Oh, did you think that we didn't say his name because, like, we were, keeping him trapped somewhere ready to unleash him? No. We just don't like using that word. That's our Voldemort.
I mean, it also kind of feels like that.
What, the first one? That they're, like, keeping him trapped, waiting to unleash him?
I mean, possibly.
I mean, the thing is, I'll say this. If they're also bad guys, it still does lead into my why is everyone against each other thing, but at least it's everybody. But if it turns out it's just that one race, and then this other race is like, nah, we're cool. Heck, we even look similar, so we're all cool. Also, we're religious, if you would like to take this pamphlet. Like, it would just seem weird to me.
I don't think it's supposed to turn them into... I think they're all just extremes.
Right. Well, yes, extreme logic, extreme belief, and then humanity in the middle.
Arguably, yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying that, like, if extreme belief is also evil, then I'm like, okay, extreme logic, extreme belief, fine. It just seems weird that, like, yes, they're all humanoid, but extreme logic did look different than the rest and kind of stood out. And it's just frustrating that extreme logic was like, yeah, we're all, we're taking over the earth. And it would be strange if extreme belief is like, well, hold on now. I believe that all of us are great, but not you. Well, that was if they did that, I'm like, good, okay, everyone here has their own agenda and taking over the earth. Like, it's bad for humanity, therefore it's bad. I'm okay with that. But I don't want it to be a thing where it's like it's only extreme logic and then, thank goodness we have religion. Because, look, I grew up Catholic. I'm not trying to be anti-religious here. I've even said that there's some really good religious media out there. Like, I feel like despite the fact that you and I dislike signs for many reasons, I don't think it's bad from a religious point of view. Right?
Right, yeah.
But it would be odd if in our Godzilla we get extreme belief and faith is what humanity, like, yes, humanity should be believing and having faith, but, like, it would be weird if it would deter to a higher power. Also, interestingly enough, I thought at one point they were talking about Godzilla like he was the higher power. Didn't they do that in the first movie, or am I wrong?
In a way.
I forgot if they had done that in the first movie or not. That's why I'm curious. Either way, though, I don't know. I mean, there's something about those high priests
too. Yeah.
There's something about them.
Yeah.
But anyway, how did you feel about the fact that? So I'm very happy that there was nothing bad happened to the Mafia tribe, because I was extremely nervous that it was like, so when do we use the fire? And it's like, no, guys, they're our friends. Are they really, though? Yes.
Yeah.
Do not hurt. Yeah. No, because it got to a point where I was like, oh, God, are they going to come in? Thank goodness, we're here to save you. Put the guns down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, that did not happen. Everyone was... Also, I'm actually shocked at how many people were safe. I'm not saying we should have had more casualties. Maybe there were and we just didn't see faces. But it seemed like once we saw that other team come in led by one of the priests, it was kind of like, oh, well, a lot of you survived. Shit.
Yeah, well, that was...
Like
Oh, right. I feel like there was only another squad, though. Like, from the whole landing crew that they had maybe, like, a ship's worth of people survive.
That's okay. Fair.
Like
Fair. No, that's you're right. I'm just saying that, like, once we saw another.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Just once we saw another squad, it felt like we got a fuck ton more people. Like, there was enough.
Yeah, when
like,
I saw that had like a tank still, I was like, oh shit! Like, you guys made out pretty well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for what it looked like, I was like, everyone in the first promotional picture, like the actual poster for the first Godzilla movie, I was like, they're going to be the ones that are left in this one. And there was a lot more, like, people left.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. But yeah, so I'm trying to get to some other stuff here. Yeah, I know the Ghidorah summoning thing. I know how dumb it sounds. I get it, Tristan. I get it. But the reason why I was so invested in that, despite how dumb it is because I don't know, I thought that bringing up, well, first off, it was just going to be, it would have been a cool reveal. That's the first thing. Second, it's not like it had to destroy Godzilla, but it felt like it was going to be him, making a decision, like, if I say Ghidorah, Even if it's just a way for me to, like, okay, I gotta, I'm remembering this so that I can make my decision, and it actually summons Ghidorah.
Yeah.
It would be such an interesting way to end the movie on, like, holy fuck, what's going to happen next? Also, the idea that, like, now that Ghidorah is here, not just what's going to happen next, but, like, is Earth, quote-unquote, saved, or is it destroyed? Now, of course, it's going to have something to do in the next movie. Like, that's still going to happen, because there's no way they're going to mention Ghidorah's name and never show him. That's really weird.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Especially the fact that it became an after-credit scene in a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they did an after-credit scene for the first Godzilla anime movie, but still, to have Ghidorah's name be done in that way. By the way it was edited was brilliant. Like, the way they turned back time and then had new lines and then had the cut and then had him just lean in and go, Ghidorah. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was good.
It was real good. But anyway, so, but I don't know. I'm not saying it's the smartest decision. I just thought that, because it sounds too much like Shazam, like just say Shazam's name and you transform or something. Or like
Attack
on
Titan.
Titan
comes down and the golden three-headed dragon that shoots lightning appears. What's confusing about this, Matt? No, I'm kidding.
Not even the lightning. It's just Haruo's like, I have to do this. Bites his finger. Ghidorah transforms into Ghidorah.
Okay, all right. I know we said the series was like Attack on Titan, but let's not do that.
I thought I said it was like Blue Gender, not like Attack on Titan. Did I?
No, both. It was a fusion of Attack on Titan and Blue Gender.
Okay. So that's just what it is. He just bites his thumb and he just fucking turns into Ghidorah, which would be fucking hilarious. Why did he do that? Because Ghidorah is inside us all along. All right, now this is getting weird, and Godzilla's destroying the Earth.
And the louder we chant, the more powerful he becomes.
Jesus. It's like chanting for Ultraman. Ghidorah! Ghidorah!
Yeah. What I think...
Tasukete, Ghidorah!
Oh my God. What I think
Ghidorah!
might happen...
Wait, what?
Is that... No, I think that they might be lying about Ghidorah being the one that destroyed their planet.
Oh, so then you do think they're keeping him trapped somewhere?
Yes, possibly. And that they might be trying to keep the hierarchy in their favor. It's like, we're going to bring forth Ghidorah, like it's foretold. Or the fact it's like, well, nothing can destroy Godzilla except one thing. And it's like, seeing as how you will never reclaim your planet, I think we should get rid of it before it tries to be, become more powerful. Maybe.
Oh, okay. But, no, okay, wait. So what you're saying is, I should, no, because here's the thing. The reason why it would be strange if they did that, though, is they would want Godzilla to be out of the way, unless this, priest foresaw that, like, if Haruo, gives himself up to these nanobites and everything, not only will it take over the planet so that, good God, that could rival our Ghidorah, but it could also be an issue because I can foresee Haruo destroying Godzilla a different way, because you want Godzilla to be destroyed. Granted, you could say the nanotechnology is bigger and is stronger,
right,
but you would still want Godzilla to be out of the way regardless, unless they truly believe in their Ghidorah so much that they're just like, no, don't you worry. It's like, we're going to take over the Earth with our Ghidorah, but, like, you can sit in the corner with your Godzilla. It's like, hey, we don't like him, but he's ours. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't like Godzilla, but he's ours. Okay? So stop it. Here's something interesting. When you heard the phrase city on the edge of battle, did you ever think that the city would be a fucking Mecha Godzilla city? What the fuck?
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
That's
Mecha Godzilla
I gotta admit.
in there. Wait, is that a city? Yeah, it's made of Mecha Godzilla. Wait, what the fuck?
Like, I gotta be real with you, man. as I say this over and over, and I know it might sound like a broken record, I would have loved for a one-on-one fight, but they did something that I know that, because I think you and I, when we did Keikaku Corner, which is an anime podcast that we do on our Those Guys on the Radio YouTube channel, you're probably listening to this on that channel, or if you listen to it through our Blog Talk Radio, go, once this is over, go check out our video.
Plug.
What?
I said go, atomic plug.
Yes. No, but the reason why I'm bringing it up is because of the fact that when we talked about Godzilla King of the Monsters, the actual trailer for the new movie,
right.
the live-action one, it felt like, just from the trailer alone, it was like, is this a prequel to the anime movie? But I'll say this much, though. After seeing this anime movie, it definitely cannot seem like anything that they would ever do in a live-action Godzilla movie. Maybe one day I'll be proven wrong, but this felt so different, and it was so interesting, because, I don't think they would ever go for, that's the thing, I think you and I are just programmed due to, and you've seen more of them than I have, but seeing all the Japanese Godzilla films, you're just like, yeah, they're going to fight one-on-one, why wouldn't they? And it's like, actually, we've done that before, so why don't we show something vastly different? Because even this not space station, but the station that they have made out of, or the city, technically the actual term is city, made out of Mechagodzilla, it's something that, while it could be done in live action, that's also another huge cost. Yeah. If it were to be done in live action, an entire fucking city, it would look adequate. It wouldn't look terrible, but again, you'd have to have a fuck ton of money to make that look good. I mean, heck, even looking at the scale of the shrine, or where the egg is, even the scale of that is fucking huge when you actually think about it in relation to the characters.
Yeah.
So I have a question. What?
No, I was going to say I was really worried for, the mountain and Mothra people as well. I thought for a second there, when they shot the harpoons and got Godzilla enclosed in their trap and, executing the battle plan similar to, how they did in the first movie, destroying the dorsal fin and then attacking from there. I thought Godzilla was going to go into overload, like he's done in the movies, and he's basically a walking nuclear reactor that goes into meltdown. I thought
he kind of did, but he didn't move around.
He kind of did, but he didn't actually explode. In one of the movies, I'm pretty sure Godzilla actually melts down.
That sounds horrifying.
Oh, it is. It is horrifying.
No, I made the joke.
Mountain and the whole city would be obliterated.
Yeah. Don't worry. It still was. Joe, this is a city.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Here's something.
I'm kind of hoping Mothra's okay at this point, and I'm hoping the twins are okay at this point, and all those other people that got out are okay.
Mothra, I think he'll be fine. But you know what's interesting? I have a question, Tristan. You think that explosion, something rupturing that way, you think it might trigger a volcano?
Hi, Rodan.
I'm thinking if maybe a volcano.
That would be great.
Yeah, it could trigger a volcano, and then all of a sudden Rodan's like, hold the fucking phone. 2 movies. And finally, my agent called me and said, are you busy? No, I'm not fucking busy. 2 movies.
Yeah.
What does a Rodan have to do to get a job around here? Jesus. Rodan is infuriated. Rodan, stay on script. Fuck you and fuck your mother who birthed you. Jesus, Rodan. Jesus, Rodan. Rodan is like a Christian Bale meltdown on set. Anyway, Jesus. But no, I do wonder if we might get a Rodan appearance, because I do feel like they've even though it's stuff that we didn't think would happen, they definitely are planting seeds here and there. And I say this over and over, but I'm not even just the characters at this point. Like, the actual writers are like, okay, this will happen here, and then this will trigger this and this and this. So I do wonder if, a Rodan could appear via a volcanic reaction. Because it would be strange if it's only Mothra and Godzilla versus Ghidorah, or if it's Ghidorah versus Godzilla, or heck, if there's no Ghidorah and Mothra and these are just references to make us giggle as fans. It'd be really weird. What's the third movie called again, by the way? As we're talking about this?
Oh, crap.
You can look it up, right, or no?
Not right now.
Okay, don't worry, then I'll look it up. But yes, tell me some more of your thoughts on the movie, Tristan. Tell me about the biology stuff. What do you think about all the biology stuff?
Okay. Well, I love the doctor, there's a doctor character. There's also the biologist, the scientist. Yeah, I love his character because he's just looking at everything like. Well, okay, what do you mean?
No, sorry, I was referring to the fact of like them just coming up with potential pseudoscience for everything.
I mean, I kind of like how it's gone so far.
It's not the worst pseudoscience. It could be worse.
Yeah, it's their guesstimations on an ecosystem that's evolved way past what they expected for 20,000 years. Like,
how did you feel about everyone being called primitive?
Well, okay, see, that's where
you love when that happens.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why I like that they had the scientist input saying it's like, no, they're actually a very advanced culture for where they've been. They're incredibly adapted to suit their environment. They live a lot longer than we would out in that gas. You keep forgetting.
Right. But still, the way he said, but here's the funny thing. He said the phrase, you would think they're primitive. But actually, they're not. Like, it's just so funny the way it's being said. You would think that they're primitive, but actually they're not. Like, it doesn't seem like it's a compliment. Like, if I said the phrase, if I said the phrase, you would think Tristan's an asshole, but really he's actually a lot of I don't know if that's a compliment, Matt.
Well, I would expect that from you, but.
No, but if I say the phrase, that's terrible. But still, you see what I'm saying, though, right? Like, it's not necessarily a compliment if I'm like, you would think he's an asshole, but he's actually such a nice guy.
Oh, yes, that phrase just by itself, yes, but it was in response to him, because the Bill Salato were like, they have no they have no technology whatsoever. It's like they're a degradation from what humanity used to be. It's like, actually, they're doing really well in a very hostile environment. You're kind of being an asshole.
Yes. Here's something interesting, by the way. The third Godzilla movie is called The Planet Eater.
Right. Well, there's the door for you. Yeah. I
would hope so. I would really hope so. It has to be.
It has to be.
Oh God! Tristan?
Oh God. Yes.
You know the thing that he had repaired in between the pentagram thing?
Yeah.
It looks like a beacon.
Wonder if there's a beacon.
Oh, fucking shit, it looks like a beacon.
Oh
God.
What if that flashback where you hear all the voices and everything that's going on, what if that's all being transmitted to Ghidorah?
Ghidorah would be like, I do not speak Japanese. Seriously, what the fuck? Ghidorah's just like, Ghidorah comes down. He also does like the Haruo thing. Ghidorah.
Oh, God.
Pulls out a dictionary. Watashi wa. You know what? Fuck this. Stomps on everything. You know what? I'm done. He's talking from one head. He's like, I have two other heads. How about you guys pick up a goddamn book? one head swipes the other one's hand. Put down the phone. No selfies. I told you. We're coming here. No selfies. Come on. You got to take a before and after. Before us, after us. Come on.
Oh, God.
The third one's just like, I'm trying to read here. Okay, so you pick up books, but none that are relevant to us. I'm sorry, but The Fault in Our Stars is a classic, and I have not been able to read it because we've been asleep. But, no, I expect you to... Okay, that's what I was expecting. I was like, not a laugh, nothing. No, but I do wonder if it's... No, because here's the thing. I thought it would be a beacon like, wake up, Ghidorah, not so much like transmitting the data, or something else, a Godzilla weapon. But it's weird, though, because they don't seem to be anti-Godzilla. I think they're just pro-monsters fighting for the Earth, and we'll just reap whatever's after. But I don't know, it seems like there's no after, because Godzilla's been around for 20,000 years, just chilling.
There is nothing but Godzilla before, and there will be Godzilla after.
Pretty much.
All else will crumble before time.
It seems like it. It really does seem like it. Also, apparently dragons are part of nature now. I think I made that joke last time, but I just want to put it now when we're talking about all the scientific stuff, like everything just adapted around Godzilla. It's like, so that's why dragons? It's like, yeah, that's why dragons. It's like, all right.
I mean, even the insects did too. Even the plants, shit.
You're right. The insects and the plants did go a little haywire there. But
everything's radioactive, so. Yeah,
pretty much. And yeah, so they can only breathe, like you said way earlier, if they have that the stuff that it's funny that's never been introduced in the franchise before, but it was still a nice addition here, like the coding and everything.
Right.
That was interesting. But yeah, so where do you think this, because I've been talking a lot, you have here and there, do you think the series is going where I think it's going, or do you think it might be vastly different by the time the third movie comes out?
Well, where do you think it's going?
Well, with not just with Ghidorah, but potentially even Rodan. Like, do you think do you think they're saving Rodan because they didn't want to blow everything here? Or do you think that there might not be a Rodan? Or heck, do you think it might just be Godzilla versus Ghidorah, not even a frickin' Mothra?
No, Mothra's definitely going to make an appearance. I don't think Rodan is going to be in it. I think it's just going to be Godzilla teaming up with Mothra against Ghidorah. And whatever's left of the ground forces.
Yeah, right. Whoever else might exist. But yeah, so that would be interesting as well. I just want to look at this. Oh, but I want to see how much. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they don't tell us how much money it costs to make this movie. But, well.
Yeah, because I think it's going to boil down to a whole thing, because even Yuko was like, oh, I can't see the Haruto, I think? Something to that effect. But the people who worship Mothra, I can't see them being the right choice either, because they're not doing anything. It's like, well, actually, they're living, perfectly normal lives and not being destroyed by Godzilla, but also living on Earth alongside Godzilla and not, trying to fuck with him every 5 seconds.
Here's something interesting.
Something from that. Maybe we could all just, co-inhabit the Earth with nature and not piss off the giant radioactive lizard that keeps killing everyone every time you do.
Wait a minute, but hold on a second. I thought Godzilla couldn't sense them. Even if you mind your own business, Godzilla's still going to come after you.
No, he couldn't. The only reason he was going after the city was because it was an anomaly. The rest of the people in Mothra, they lived underground and just away from him. I don't think he knew about them.
Right, but but what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. He didn't know about them, so he didn't go after them. It's not about pissing him off. It's about existing.
Well, they pissed him off by No, I'm kidding.
You see what I'm saying, though? Like, I'm not saying that that coexistence shouldn't happen. It's just that Godzilla needs to mind his own fucking business every once in a while. Just every once in a while. It's like Godzilla, you can Earth, the like it's kind of like Godzilla. Japan can be like your summer home, but you have to go back into the ocean every once in a while to visit, the wife and kids.
I mean, I don't think Godzilla has a problem with humanity on the face of the planet. It's more of when humanity fucks with the planet. Because they kind of tried to make that idea earlier on, like, as the biologist was talking about, all the things that humanity had done, the atomic testing, all the pollution. It's like the Earth kind of tailored itself to Godzilla because it's like, hey, Godzilla keeps, It's not humanity
it's
itself,
a theory,
it's what
though.
humanity does.
Right, but it's not like the Earth is like, I don't know, it's not like the Earth can actually, like, it's sentient. It's not like the Earth was like, hey, Godzilla, wake up, I need your help, and Godzilla's like, all right, Earth-chan, I got this. Like, Godzilla was just taking a nice nap, and then atomic testing was just like, what the fuck?
The fuck?
No, like,
fucking this?
Who woke me up? And then he saw people, and he's like, this is really loud. Like, I don't know. I don't think if Godzilla saw one human, and maybe the third movie will change that, but I don't think if Godzilla saw, like, just Haruo staring up at him, Godzilla would be like, all right, nice to see you, dude. You take care. I feel like they're using him as a whole, thing of destruction, like a force of nature. Granted, nature, i.e. the Earth, so that's how that ties in. Right. But I don't think it's like, it's just one of those weird situations where, like, we need more info. But, again, I don't think we're ever going to get that info because who can talk to Godzilla directly?
Well, I mean, if they can telepathically talk to Mothra,
that would be hilarious.
It could happen.
That would be hilarious.
I'm not, because they have kids talk to Godzilla all the time in the movies. Not really talk to him, but, like, I understand your feelings, Godzilla-san.
Godzilla's like, no, you don't. I still want to fucking dunk on Kobe. No, Charles Barkley. It was Charles Barkley.
Oh, my gosh.
Could you imagine? They're like, the twins are like, Godzilla, what do you want? It's like, the human, the one named Charles Barkley. Does he still exist?
I want another shot at hoops.
Oh, my God. We have Michael Jordan. He will suffice.
Oh, God.
It just becomes Space Jam.
Literally. It literally becomes Space Jam.
You know what's really funny? You know that Warner Brothers owns the U.S. rights to fucking Godzilla, right?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They could literally do a Space Jam where Godzilla's in it, and legally it's okay.
Do it.
Jesus. Oh, my God.
I don't think we're going to have Nikes big enough for Godzilla, especially now.
First of all, they have rays. They have machines. They can do it.
I mean, yeah, but
I love that I love that you're sitting there and you're saying we can't make shoes big enough for Godzilla, as if goddamn Michael Jordan is already big enough for Godzilla. Like, Tristan, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Michael Jordan is only a little bit taller than us in comparison to Godzilla. And here's the thing: if you're like, well, Tristan, you're looking at me, you're like, well, Matt, we can't make him that large. All right, but then are we making Godzilla that small? Because if we are, then I think we have Nikes available. In normal sizes, if we're making them that small.
Oh.
Jesus, Tristan. I feel like some people out there are like, I think they've gone completely off topic. It's just like, I'm happy to see that we have new listeners.
You've become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I liked this movie. It's one of those weird things when we like a movie so much, it's hard for us to talk about it directly because usually we with our critical eye, we can shit on things easier than we can praise them because we hate turning a review into, wasn't it great? We can say, like, wasn't it great when he roared? But it's really hard for us otherwise to say, wasn't it great when? Wasn't it great when? Over and over and over and over again. You know?
I mean, it's Godzilla, so for me, that's not so hard.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Okay, so then let's get critical. Let's get critical.
Well, okay, so here's what I think needs to happen, and I'm not sure how exactly they're going to do this, but
okay,
because Haruo's whole struggle about being obsessed with destroying Godzilla is going to have to turn around at some point. Like, I feel like humanity is going to be forced, like they're going to be forced to work together with Godzilla to destroy Ghidorah, or at least ward him away. And so Haruo's going to have to deal with that. And, like, he's going to have to let go, because I feel like it needs to be this bigger idea of that he needs to let go of his hatred, because if he keeps going on this path of destruction, I think he's going to realize it's just going to end up in more people dead. Even if he does destroy Godzilla, there's not going to be anything left to, save Godzilla from.
Which is strange because...
Not save Godzilla, but save from Godzilla.
No, you're right. But which is strange. The thing that's strange, though, is the stuff with Yuko, the fact that she died. Again, it's great that it can strengthen him in character. But where is it strengthening him? That's the thing. Oh, I don't hate Godzilla anymore. But, like, that would make you probably hate Godzilla more.
More, yeah. And that's what I wonder. I wonder if he's going to go through that arc. I wonder if he's going to get worse from this point on, or he's going to get worse, but then come to a realization and get better. I kind of hope he gets better, but at the same time, it's going to be a tough road.
It's tough because we only have an hour and 40 minutes left in this arc of his.
Right.
There's only one more movie left. So he's going to have to learn it. He's going to have to learn it pretty quick.
Is there anything technically saying that this is the last one?
I mean, well, I'll say this much. Ghidorah looks to be teased in the poster for the third movie. So at the very least, Ghidorah's appearing. Also, they did say it was going to be a trilogy. I got to be real with you, Tristan. It would be really dumb if we had, like, 4 or 6 of these.
Yeah, no, okay. Like, I was trying to remember whether they specifically said it was going to be a trilogy. If yes, then, you're right.
Pretty sure they did, because we talked about this on Keikaku Corner as a news story when it first happened.
Yeah, right.
Like, when they first were like, hey, there's going to be these on, they're going to be on Netflix, and they're going to be great, and we weren't talking like that, or actually, we probably were. But we were discussing, you were discussing the news.
With good reason.
I was what?
I think you were a bit more skeptical. With, good reason.
I meant with the thick New York accents, but okay, apparently you don't hear those anymore. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Because I was saying they're going to be great, they're going to be wonderful, and I'm just like, we weren't talking that way, and you were like, speak for yourself, Brooklyn Rage. I'm like, all right there. Yeah, Wheeler. But anyway. So
that's what they got to do. It's what we got to do, Hugh. We got to duel Godzilla.
Oh my God!
The only way.
But his hands are too big, Joey. Also, plenty of other things.
Shut up, Hugh.
It's like, why would you say that? That sounds like something Tristan would say. We should duel God. Oh, did Joey already say it? But anyway.
Right, I forgot I was the background character that didn't get that many lines.
Right. I have no problem with them dueling Godzilla, but I, however, do feel like it will be strange to have, I don't know, maybe you could say, well, Yuko wasn't killed by Godzilla, she was killed by, the other two and their ambitions, so arguably he could get mad at them and not necessarily at Godzilla, or he might be like, you know what, I hate Godzilla, but I know about Ghidorah, that's why, I was told of Ghidorah, so I gotta go against Ghidorah. Like, I wonder if he's going to have to put it aside because he's going to be like, look, I really hate God. Like, it's not going to be that's the one issue I think I have with this movie a little bit. And granted, I understand things are hectic and they're happening fast, but it does feel like, especially with their quote-unquote love story with Yuko and Haruo, I'm not saying that it didn't, I'm not saying that it shouldn't have happened, but the way that they did it, it felt like they were just checking a box off. Like, well, she has to be in love with him. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Granted, I'm not saying she shouldn't be. I'm just saying that from what I remember from the first movie and this movie, I think I even may have said, I don't know how I was going to feel if they would be in love, like making a joke about it when we did the first review. It just feels like it was too forced. That's my thing. Like, it felt a bit too forced. I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened. I'm okay with it happening. It was just a thing where I was like, really? Like, why are we doing this when it didn't feel like it was necessary? Yeah.
I feel like for me it was kind of to make it more convincing, they would have needed more time with just the two of them talking to each other, which we didn't really get to have, and I wasn't really disappointed about that. I was happy with more Godzilla.
Yeah, no. I am too, but that's why it's kind of like they cut the plot. Or another thing too, right? Yeah. It's not like we needed them to kiss and actually like have a moment like that and moments together like that. It's not like we needed that just so that we could. Because here's the thing, right? Let's say that didn't happen, right? Let's say you could tell that they kind of had feelings for each other, but nothing really, right? Nothing really materialized. It's not like you'd be happy with her death at the end, like, she'll die, what are you going to do? Well, I never kissed her, so whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were still well, maybe not childhood, but they were still good friends. Like, of course, he would still be devastated by her death.
Like, that's the interesting thing. Like, he still would have cried while holding her regardless of kissing her. Like, could you imagine just, oh, wait, I didn't kiss her. Oh, okay, I'm good. Let me wipe all that off me. Ooh. Let me just get that. Let me get all that Yuko off me. Anyway, see you, Yuko. I'm trying to get them. What?
I kind of think in a way, because when, she does tell him about, her feelings and, the fact that the way he talked about Earth and the way that, he said we should take back, Earth for humanity and, take back our lives, it gave her hope. Like, that all made sense for me in the fact that she admired him for that. But what I found the most interesting was when she does kiss him, he's very confused at first, and he doesn't ever kind of settle into it, like, oh, right, I do feel this way. He's still very confused. He's like, I don't know what to do right now. It's like it's the realization, I've never thought of this. I've never thought of anything other than killing Godzilla. So then when she actually does die, he's like, oh crap, I actually do. Oh, God.
So you couldn't kiss her. I'm not saying I couldn't kiss her. It just felt strange. Okay, then how did you ease into it? I pictured her as Godzilla, but that really confused everything.
God damn it.
All right, so then just explain what happened after you pictured her as Godzilla. I mean, I guess to put it mildly, I don't think I want to kill Godzilla anymore. That's great. But what I do want to do, and we're ending the session. You take care. I'm going to pour some bleach into my brain. Oops. Are you seeing me next week, Doctor? I'm never seeing anything ever again. Please.
Is that how he kills the hive mind?
So he kills the hive mind. They're just like, he gets implanted into it first. He's like, Yuko, think about me having sex with Godzilla. You're in the hive mind right now. That'll shut everything down. She's like, what?
Oh, God.
But seriously, though.
I think we need to have another talk. Please accept the side of this. I cannot.
No, but I don't know. It didn't seem as if, I don't know. To me, it didn't seem as if he was that apprehensive. It just felt something weird with the CG models. But you're right. It could have been all of that.
Yeah.
It just felt, it felt like a weird CG.
Apprehensive about his character. Like,
okay.
Not just the models.
Because the models were a little off this time around.
Well, I don't think so. I've kind of settled into it a little more now. But
it's the lighting.
Like it's got, I guess. I mean,
not all of the time.
3D models, but it still has that slight, like, kind of sketchy art style look to it. So
yeah,
it's not just random 3D models. Like the clunky ones you usually see as like background, which they use here and there too for soldiers, which makes sense. They're background, so yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that some of the models, I'm not saying the whole movie, Tristan. I'm just saying that some of the time it felt a little off to me. Okay. I think maybe, Godzilla felt off. I loved it, but he felt off.
Yeah, Godzilla's model has always still kind of looked a little weird. It's
also
he felt
very
choice,
he felt very expensive.
In an odd way, yeah.
Well, what I mean by that, some people might be like, what does that mean, Matt? It felt like they were like, okay, we are not showing this thing a lot. We are showing as little of this thing as we can. And I don't mean that as in like to save, like, we ran out of budget. What I mean by that necessarily more so is the fact that like, are we shooting it? Yes. It's going to be covered by a lot of fucking smoke. Oh, okay, that's fine. No, you don't understand how much fucking smoke. So much goddamn smoke. Okay, so we're going to see. Like they're trying to, even though they're attacking it, they're trying to cover it up in ways or do really interesting camera angles that they're still using budget to animate other things, but it did not, it seemed like there was just a point where they were showing so much of the head and like nothing else, and the head was like, why? Come on! Versus showing the body because it was like, no, too much animation. No more. No bueno. None of this. So it was just like the head just kind of moving its head around like, come on, are we sure here? I think we can be buddies. There was a misunderstanding.
Right.
As he's getting barraged.
Okay, it's starting to not be as ticklish anymore. All right, guys, I'm getting a little pissed off now.
Guys, I think we were having a lot of fun before, when I was alive and y'all were dying. That was great, but I think things are not actually fun anymore. We're going to have to change this. So if y'all can just lie down and I can kill you.
I think we need to get back to that.
Look, guys, I think we started off on the wrong foot. All right, it was my left. Let me crush you with my right. We started off on the wrong foot.
Shoots him in the face. All right, we're getting back. Starts charging the atomic blast. All right, we're coming back to this now.
Yeah, basically. It's like, guys, I think we should all calm down and let me murder your race. I think I can
forgive you for killing my son if shoots in the face. All right, y'all are dead.
That would be great, right? Just like, I think I can forgive you for killing my son. I mean, I have 3 others. Wait, what? No, nothing. There's like 3 other Godzillas running to like fight everybody. That would be crazy, right? Just more little tiny. That's what they'll have. They'll have tiny Godzillas fighting Ghidorah. It's like with the little Majin Boos.
Oh God. It's funny with his regenerative abilities. I could see that happening.
Good God, Tristan. Oh, for when Godzilla was going into, what was it called, Maximum Overdrive? When he was...
I mean, it's not called anything really, but when he was achieving critical mass. Right.
It looked like it was his mega evolution. And I'm not even kidding. I was throwing it to you as a joke, but you can't tell me that if Godzilla wasn't If he was a Pokemon character, that wouldn't look like his Mega Evolution. If he was a legendary, like Groudon.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, you're not wrong.
There we go. Because he thought I was kidding, and I kind of was to mess with him. But it legit looked like he was getting a Mega Evolution. Or, if we want to be more topical, an Alolan form.
Oh, my God.
Like, this is Godzilla in the tropics. You can see that he's reaching critical mass.
Oh, God. You can also see that he's at least 100 times his normal size.
It's like an Executor.
Exactly. Oh, God. It's just Godzilla with a really fucking long neck. God damn it.
No, Godzilla's Alolan form is Ghidorah.
There you go. Oh, God.
Or Ghidorah is Executor's Alolan form. I don't know which. Oh, no, he's Dragonites.
Oh, God.
Anyway, I don't think there's much else to say, unless there's anything you really want to say about this movie. All right. I don't know.
Well, I'm trying to think.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'll tap dance. No one will see it because we're not on camera, but I'll be tap dancing and everyone will know it.
Hi, you can't fool me. You're summoning Ghidorah behind my back.
Of course. You know me so well.
Fool me, Matt.
You know me so well. I'm happy we got less space station. I know we were in essentially another space station, but I'm happy we got less of that.
It's funny because Yuko said that. She's like,
yes.
We're surrounded by machines, enclosed in here. It's kind of like being back out in space. Like, Haruo is just like, like, no, we're fine. You can go outside anytime you want. Okay.
Kind of, yeah, it was really funny. But yeah, I feel as if this movie, despite us not saying that many positive things, because again, we don't want to gush so much, I do think that this movie, some of its best stuff was actually better than the first, and some of its lowest stuff, like I think like the kiss or, just some stuff with the characters turning on each other. I think that's some of the lowest in my opinion. Granted, I understand that, they've planted that, since the first movie, but still having that actually happen in this way, I feel like that to me is worse than stuff in the first movie. But I think the best thing about this movie is that even with some of its lulls, I do feel like calling it City on the Edge of Battle, it really did feel that way. Granted, different battles, I thought, as I'm saying over and over. What was that?
It is an appropriate title.
It is, because even though I've said over and over it's a different battle than I thought it was going to be, it definitely felt like a battle nonetheless, and it had that tension. Even the stuff that some people might go, oh no, but it was still building up, and it was still, lackluster, them traveling, basically traveling around, talking to these different tribes and everything. But to me, again, someone that likes delving into the lore of Godzilla, not just seeing just Godzilla or just seeing Godzilla destroy stuff, because we've seen that over and over. Granted, not in this form, so it actually would have been cool to see Godzilla go through Tokyo in his animated self. I will admit it would have been nicer to see more of that, but since we've gotten past that, since there is no Tokyo anymore, it's like, okay, so let's actually see other monsters and see what they're going to do. And I think maybe, I don't want to hype myself too much because usually that leads to disappointment for me, but I do wonder how good the third movie is going to be, because it seems like that's going to be the huge blowout.
Yeah.
So we're talking about third one a lot because, these chapters, these movies, they're made to be talked about as a trilogy, not just singularly. So, yeah, that's kind of why we're very much on the hype train for the third one, so I hope it doesn't disappoint. It's coming out in Japan in November, and I assume it'd be here by, January, maybe February.
Right.
But anyway, so anything else you want to say about the movie, Tristan?
I mean, the one thing about the fight, I love the fight with Godzilla in this movie, but I also did appreciate the humans first, or not just humans, but the landing crew, like their first attack on the smaller Godzilla, like just all of them working together, like the entire squad working together under, kind of underpowered, but still grouping everybody together and figuring out how to weaken and destroy Godzilla together in that battle.
Yeah, and that's why this one felt so sad in that regard, the working together aspect.
Because it's no longer, everything's falling. Their whole kind of alliance is falling apart.
Yeah. Oh, well. But still, but anything about this movie, so here's my question to you then, because I should ask you this. Which movie did you like better, this one or the last one?
Oh, that's tough.
I mean, it's funny. His criteria, which one gave me more Godzilla? Technically this one.
Technically.
That's funny.
Tough for me. I guess I like this one a tiny bit more.
I would say this one for me because of Mothra. And again, you've seen my criteria talking about it throughout the entire review. I would say Mothra. Like, push this one for me.
Did this movie give me more Mothra? God damn it, Matt.
Well, it could have given me more Rodan. It could have given me other monsters. That's the thing too. That's interesting to me. Like you would think that in seeing smaller monsters around, we wouldn't have the same models used over and over. We'd get like a random cameo that wouldn't happen. Like I don't know much about monsters in the Godzilla universe, but you would think that you would see maybe even like what?
There's been plenty of them, so yeah. That's fair.
You would think there'd be like a little reference here and there, but the one thing that was interesting, though, is the tentacle monster. I thought it was going to be an octopus.
Oh, my God.
I'm not kidding, though.
Kong.
No, remember, there was also an octopus in Godzilla as well, technically.
Oh, right. Wait.
There was one in King Kong, but I'm pretty sure there was also one in Godzilla, right? Or am I wrong?
Not that I remember. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't remember an octopus monster.
All right, that's fair. I'm not saying in every movie. Like, there's been so many random things that have appeared in Godzilla. I thought there was an octopus at one point, not just King Kong. Although, to be fair, wouldn't you, granted, now with Godzilla being this big, King Kong would not be able to fight Godzilla. But you would think also there would be a King Kong reference somewhere, perhaps. Not at this point, because obviously it's like this big. I think King Kong's good. Like, King Kong's like, I'm good.
They could have had an ape species continue developing for another 200,000 years, 20,000 years, sorry.
It probably would have been like a giant King Kong with like spikes instead of like – it would have been a little bit of fur, but it would have also developed into spikes as well because being around Godzilla, that whole mutation strand thing.
Right.
Yeah, so either way, it seems like we'll get all of our questions answered in the third movie. And I guess I mean I feel like this lived up to my hype though, this movie. Because I also didn't give it that much hype, funnily enough. But I gave it enough.
It lived up to mine, and I did give it hype.
Good.
So there.
Hooray. All right, then. So, I didn't give this one much hype because even though we saw when I saw the first one, I enjoyed it. But I just told you, I hate giving movies too much hype because usually they don't live up to it for me.
Right.
It just hit me. When Godzilla like overclocked and essentially radiated, his stomach looked like he had a dad bod. Like he was just drinking beer with his son until these fucking guys came over here and killed his son. And he's just like, well, I gotta go out, protect the family.
Okay.
Like look at his stomach when he jumps up to like atomic breath the entire place to the ground. It looks like he has a little tiny dad bod, like just like a little like beer belly. Father Godzilla is best Godzilla, Tristan.
Oh my god.
This is the best Godzilla we'll ever get.
No, I like no family, single, rogue element Godzilla.
I'm so sorry to hear that. All right. You know what you sound like? You sound like comic book fans. They're like, I like Peter Parker when he's not married.
Oh my god.
I don't want him to be married and happy. I want him to be single, fighting crime without thinking of a wife. That's how you sound like. Granted, we've never seen Godzilla's wife. We've just seen his son. We've never seen his wife, have we?
No, Matt.
Who was his son? How was his son made? I have no idea. I've never seen the movie.
I don't know, and I don't want.
And you don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know. You don't know, and frankly, you're fine with that. You're super fine with that. All right then. So, we love you all. You have all of we've said our social media stuff so many times. I think we'll give you guys a break. We'll give Tristan a break. You guys can find it in the description box below. All of our cool stuff like our Patreon, our other channels, and our merch like our t-shirts. All that cool stuff. Love you all. Take care and tune in next time for another AniSaturday. We won't be talking about the next Godzilla movie just yet because it's not out yet. So we'll be talking about something completely different. All right, guys. So take care. Love you all. Anything you want to say, Tristan, before we wrap this up?
Insert roar here.
Insert roar here.